What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It is Super Bowl 59 live from the New Orleans Superdome. The Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs coming at you for this one. At least it's supposed to be in New Orleans. It looks like maybe it's still in Dallas, which is potentially where last year's Super Bowl was, so they may only have the Super Bowl graphics available in one stadium. But we're excited to get this one going. You can see the coin toss happening in front of our very eyes. Again, we certainly wanted to be here as Browns fans, but it was not in the cards. Kansas City won the game fair and square, beat the pants off us, really. So we're going to go ahead and finish this. This will be the final game simmed with Madden 24. Been playing this game for a while. I know it'll be exciting and looking forward to retiring it, if you will. Welcome in, LA. Welcome in, Wendell. Welcome in, Carter. Good to have you on, guys. It is Super Bowl 59. And kicking off right now, the Dallas Cowboys in the direction of the Kansas City Chiefs, and Kadarius Toney up to about the 19-yard line. Well, there he is, Patrick Mahomes. Out onto the field, he was spectacular. 500 yards passing, essentially, against the Browns in 3 quarters. He was certainly something special, and he's got weapons all over the place. And if you can't get pressure with him, look out. He will end you in a hurry. A play action, he'll boot it to the right side. Looks like Kelsey is back, by the way. I remember he left in that Browns game, but Travis Kelsey was out there for snap number 1. See him in the wing at the top of the line. Again, do appreciate everybody being on with us here today. Super Bowl 59 here. Chiefs and Cowboys fired over the middle and complete for 20 yards. Kadarius Toney once again to the 39-yard line. And yes, this will be the final game using Madden 24. It's been a long run. I can't say it's been a good run, but it's been a long run for us. And then we will be transitioning over immediately to Madden 25 and kicking off our Browns preseason sims probably as early as tomorrow or Tuesday, as we look forward to getting to the regular season. So we'll get all 3 of those preseason Browns games done with our new sim setup, which we are very excited about. We talked about that a little bit during the Super Bowl, as Micah Parsons will get in for a sack, and that's going to be something that Dallas's defense certainly needs to do. Mahomes cannot hurt you when he is on the ground. That is a fact. And Browns didn't get enough pressure on Mahomes in that AFC Championship game. If it makes you feel any better, or not better, I suppose, the Browns had 12 players in the Pro Bowl, so there you go. Hopefully that makes you feel better. They had a good roster. It was a good run, 13-4 season, 2 big playoff wins, and then 1 big playoff loss, so they'll come up 1 game short and something to shoot for, certainly in 2024 leading into the 2025 Super Bowl, which will be Super Bowl LIX, Super Bowl 59. All right. So credit the Cowboys. Turpin's going to try to go right side, or outside left rather, won't be able to get there. Welcome in, Mitchell. Reruns of Married with Children. Apologize about that. Here's a look at Dak's. Remember, those are his regular season numbers. We will also watch at the very end of the game after the trophy presentation. We'll go back to the home screen and we'll go forward a week and figure out who all of our award winners are, because I bet you we have some Cleveland Browns who are award winners, which will just make it sting a little bit more on the way out here before ceremoniously burning the game. No, we won't do that. Actually, I'm going to give some games away. We're going to do that. Have a giveaway video where I give away some of my old games, rather than trying to give him the GameStop for $1, and he's going to throw a pick. Chamari Connor jumps the slant. Jalen Tolbert was the intended receiver, and Dak makes the first mistake of the game. He threw it right to Chamari Connor of the Chiefs. I think he just ran the route for Tolbert. Significantly more aggressive to the football. And now a short field for Mahomes and company. He will be in a shotgun. Again, an injury to Pacheco a couple of weeks ago, so it's still been Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He played pretty much the whole game against the Browns. And now Mahomes, another incomplete pass. Trevon Diggs On coverage, 1 for 5 to start the game for Mahomes, so a little un-Mahomesian to start here in the Super Bowl. Now he's back to pass. They feel the blitz. He'll go left side to Kelsey. Broke the tackle to the 15, to the 10, and out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Travis Kelsey, just such a dominant player, give him 32 yards. It'll be 1st and goal for the Chiefs. Spread him out 5 wide now for Mahomes. Back to pass against the 4-man rush. Left side, Kelsey, touchdown. That was easy. Travis Kelsey, and Dak Prescott's interception comes back to haunt. Maybe he learned that one on tour with Taylor. As his eyes froze that linebacker. You see Eric Kendricks, he's just standing in the middle of the field doing essentially nothing. Mahomes froze him with that eye movement to the right side, back to the left. Kelsey wide open, easy touchdown. And here we go. Hey, Wendell. Oh, welcome in. Oh, I already said hello to you. I so apologize. I saw your latest comment and thought that was the first time I saw you in the chat. All right. Excuse me. 7-0. Dak Prescott back out on the field again. Second play of the game. He threw an interception. Second play of their first drive, rather. He throws a pick. And 3 plays later, Kansas City capitalizes with a touchdown. Here comes Ezekiel Elliott. He'll put his foot in the ground. Zeke going back to his college number of 15. He picks up a nice gain of 7. Very much tread he's got left on those tires. Here he comes again, right side. First down for Zeke to the 40. Nice run. 2 carries now, 16 yards. For Ezekiel Elliott. Justin Reed, the safety, comes up to make the tackle. Hey, Keith, welcome in. They did. They missed a shot. Although the NFL doesn't need NIL deals. 5-yard throw. So all the offense so far has been Ezekiel Elliott. A couple of runs and now a completion. Prescott. Play action this time. Blitzer in his face. Deep shot. Had a man. Overthrew him in the general direction of Brandon Cooks, but that ball was at least 3 or 4 yards over his head. And now a 3rd and 5. They'll go with an I formation. Strong I formation. They'll throw out of it, though. Left side throw at the sticks, and he got it. First touch of the day for CeeDee Lamb. And Lamb picks up 6 to the sticks for the first down. Beating Justin Watson up there at the top of your screen. Here's a little pistol look now. They'll go Zeke Elliott left side. He's got a, whoa, what a block by Steele, and Zeke's got a first down and a 9-yard run. Terrence Steele, the right tackle, pulled all the way over, and he just buried a dude. Watch that replay on your own, and holy smokes. That was pretty wild. Right side throw, very quickly caught. Tackled by CeeDee Lamb. Zeke again, left side, kind of gets stuck on the back of Tyler Smith, but he breaks a tackle, keeps his balance, and spins around for another 5 yards. He's not quite as explosive and fast as I'm guessing he once was, but he's still as tough to bring down as he's ever been for Zeke Elliott. Of course, to this stadium, since we're technically in Dallas, where he had his famous run in the 2015 playoffs. On their way to the national championship, 85 yards through the heart of the South, where he ran it right down and then outran the entire Alabama defense, and that's when you're like, uh-oh. Ohio State can hang with the SEC now. Again, just a couple of years into Urban's operation. Now Zeke to the right side, and this time he'll only muster a yard. Well, Keith, if you want them, they're yours, buddy. I'm very frustrated by the by how Zeke's going to go into the end zone and a touchdown. Nice run from Zeke Elliott. Broke a couple of tackles on the way, and he would look like vintage Zeke on that drive. 13-yard touchdown run, and we are all fair and square here at 7-7. Ezekiel Elliott into the end zone. you know, I've had 3 or 4 people are like, yeah, I want him, I'll come get him tonight, and then they, you know, they just ghost me, and it's like, ugh, pretty frustrating. The Facebook Marketplace rules are very, very loosey-goosey. But I did get some new ones, so I would like to get rid of them. And not just get rid of them for free. 7-7 with 7 to go here, as Tony brings it up to the 18-yard line. Again, appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy, Nagy on Sports is the channel. Only place that you can find these live simulated sporting events with a live original commentary from myself, Phil Nagy, and my cousin Kit Nagy, who's traveling, flying around the West Coast somewhere right now. He may pop into the chat if he's got a moment, but if he's operating an aircraft, we would not want him to try to get on the chat. Hey, Earl, welcome in. Go Browns. 2nd and 10 now. Mahomes looks a little bit more human here today. Pressure coming from Parsons, and throw it away into the first row of those suites. 3 of 9 to start the game for Mahomes. Okay, so it was a scramble, Keith. I don't know why, for some reason, when I first read your post, I thought you were like -3. I thought you were like a shark, like a scratch golfer or something. I was like, dang, bro, you're -3 at the turn, but it makes much more sense that you were playing in a scramble now at that. And then when you said, yep, and then -5, hope it holds up, I was like, oh, they're playing in a scramble. I was giving you credit for being a scratch golfer. It was a fun game last night. And yeah, again, for me, how about this broken tackle? And Hollywood Brown might go 50, 30, but rather, I can read, down to the 15 before he's thrown to the ground. How about that run after catch? Hollywood Brown. There was an RPO left side, and he had no business. Look at Trayvon Diggs, just tried to elbow him to the ground, and Brown kept his balance and raced it right on down the field. Yeah, for me, I feel like DTR makes the initial 53, and Huntley's the one who's going to get traded. We've been saying that for a while on the channel. I thought Huntley did well enough in that second half to hopefully give himself a job somewhere. As Zagura said on the broadcast, there aren't 64 quarterbacks better than Tyler Huntley, so he can go be a solid backup for somebody as a quick dump to Rashee Rice for 4. So yeah, I know the phones have been ringing about DTR, at least if you believe Zach Jackson and some of the reporting that people are calling about DTR. The Browns, I don't think, are shopping DTR, but people are calling about him. I do think that the Browns are shopping Tyler Huntley. Touchdown, Rashee Rice into the end zone, and a nice response drive from the Chiefs. But again, that was all spurred on by that massive run after catch for Hollywood Brown, and then this throw on the run from Mahomes, just too easy. In the middle of 4 Cowboys, Rashee Rice has the touchdown. And I think probably if you could have guessed at the beginning of camp, I would have thought that maybe they were hoping that they could kind of sneak DTR through to the practice squad, but now you can't. If you expose him to waivers now, he's going to get picked up 10 out of 10. And he's making a 6th round pick salary or whatever it was. 5th round pick salary. So again, they want him to be the backup, the real backup. So they don't have to pay people like Jameis Winston or Joe Flacco or Tyler Huntley, or you know what I mean. They're going to have to pay those, even the vet minimums, twice as much as what DTR's contract will be. As Nick Bolton makes a nice tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, Thrash has been great. I mean, again, just because David Bell hasn't been quite what we thought he would be yet, and obviously Anthony Schwartz was sort of a, let's see if we can catch lightning in a bottle with his elite speed skill trade. But Thrash seems to be, and Tillman looks really good in year number 2, so maybe Andrew Berry can draft receivers in these mid rounds. But Thrash absolutely is making this team. I think they'll keep 6, and he'll be on there. You got your top ones, of course, Coop, Judy, Elijah Moore, Tillman, David Bell, and Thrash should be your 6. Mike Woods, Jalen Darden probably on your practice squad would be my guess if I was a betting man on the 53. Barring some sort of weird trade or something. Now trips to the left side. Back to pass. Fired it with some heat over the middle. Caught by Lamb. First down. CeeDee Lamb to the 35 into Kansas City territory. Yeah, well, I mean, they draft these guys and they have specific, when you're getting a guy in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round or whatever, obviously they're not superstars or they wouldn't be there. So you get guys that you feel good about, get them into your room and help them develop. Think about how successful Donovan Peoples-Jones was as a 6th-round pick. Right side run. Here's Zeke. Breaking tackles again to the 20 to the 17-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott. He is running like a man possessed now. 64 yards for him on his 10 carries. Dak is in the zone. Not sure what his X factor is, but he's in the zone, and he'll throw it quickly to the left side, and is dropped by CeeDee Lamb. Joshua Williams over there in the coverage. In real life, you think the Bengals are winning the Super Bowl, Carter? That's your bold prediction. Now pressure coming, and Dak's in trouble. Mike Dana got around the edge. And doing a little skeet shooting there is Dana, and he got into the backfield. Dak had nowhere to go now. 3rd and 19. They need all the way back up to the 7 for a first down. Quick throw over the middle, incomplete. Well, the drive was nice, and then it stalled out. Wendell, he's a Cincinnati fan. He can want his Bengals to win it all. They've got a good roster. They've got as good a shot as anybody in the high end of the AFC if they can stay healthy. I mean, the years that Joe Burrow has been healthy, they've gone to either the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship. But the years he hasn't been healthy, they haven't made the playoffs. So he is that kind of a player for them. And they're trying to go all in because I don't think they're going to be able to afford to bring Chase and Higgins back next year, at least not with everybody else that they want to bring back. Joe Shiesty, yep, Joe Shiesty is healthy. Back to pass. Right side throw, tipped away, tried to go in the direction of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Deron Bland. First time we've called his name. 44 seconds here at the end of the first quarter. Again, appreciate everybody being on. Thanks so much to all of our subscribers. If you are a Cowboys or a Chiefs fan, you'd like to subscribe, we'd love to have that. We'll see some Cowboys and Chiefs games, I'm sure, because the Browns play both of them. Browns play the Cowboys in week number 1, play the Chiefs later on in the season, so you'll definitely see both your teams in our new coming up sim season again, which will start this week, and we'll also continue to work our way through. We have 2 more games in round number 1 of the college football playoff with Oregon and Arizona, and then Miami and Kansas. Kansas Jayhawks snuck into the 12-team college football playoff. 14-10 here. Kansas City with the lead and the football. Super Bowl 59 here. Nagy on Sports Style. Appreciate you being with me for it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button as well. Keith, I think that was you who put, do you know how much it pains me to hit the thumbs up button on the Michigan game when they beat, the Michigan playoff game when they beat Old Dominion. Mahomes on the run, fires it into triple coverage and knocked away by the safety, Donovan Wilson. They play a lot of 3 safety sets, and Wilson that time tracked the receiver all the way back to the middle of the field. Now 3rd and 2, trips to the left side. Mahomes, he'll roll that way. Now he'll fire on the run, and a dart, but can't be held on to. Rashee Rice was in the vicinity, and incomplete is the pass. They've run it 1 time. 19 passes and 1 rush so far for the Kansas City Chiefs. But this is their first punt of the game, and it's going to be fair caught at the 12 by Turpin. And now Dak back out on the field, but it has been all Zeke. He has been the bright spot of their offense. 10 for 64 and that touchdown. Now they'll start again back at their own 12-yard line. Turn around, give it to Zeke again. Breaking tackle. Zeke Elliott to the 15. Nice day. There's Kit. Like I said, maybe he'll pop on as long as he's not trying to operate a millions of dollar aircraft while he's doing it. Yes, so he has, clearly he has upgraded, but yes, just a superstar out of the box. Thank you for that. Coming in, dropping the facts. 4 receivers set up to the right side. They'll go quickly to the underneath one and knocked out of his hands, and a good tackle there by McDuffie. And 4th and 4 will lead to a punt here for the Cowboys. Safely in the hotel room. That's good. Yeah, Earl, even if he doesn't look elite against the Cowboy, people need to pump the brakes. This is part of the evolution of Browns fans. Now that we're actually a good team and a well-run organization with competent leadership, part of learning how to have high expectations is not overreacting to every single minute negative thing that happens. And so, yeah, and I was talking with Mason in the Discord about this. If he has a bad game against the Cowboys, there will be a significantly large portion of this fan base who will be so upset, and they'll be so pissed at Stefanski for not playing him, and he was so rusty, and all this terrible trade and all this stuff. And it's just it's one game. Let's just chill out. Now, if he looks like garbage for 6 games, then that's a different story. But I'm willing to be a little bit patient, but I would hope that they'll be smart enough to scheme him up into some good plays. Again, they haven't even seen what their team looks like yet. They haven't had their left tackle. They haven't had Chubb yet, and they may not in week 1, but they'll have Ford. I think you could probably count on one hand the amount of times they've had practices with Cooper, Judy, Moore, Tillman, and Chief all in the same practice. So it's even Deshaun hasn't gotten a full look at what it's going to look like as he zips it to the back of the end zone. Mahomes and Brown caught it, but he was out of the back of the end zone. So I'm going to be willing to be a little bit patient, only because we don't have an alternative. There's 230 million reasons that he's not going anywhere until at least 26, so we might as well embrace it and hope that he can stay healthy. Again, 6-1 in his last 7 starts. If he wins 6 out of every 7 games, we're going to be just fine. DeMarcus Lawrence this time gets in there, sacking him back, 3rd and 19. And now sacked again as he runs right into Mozzie Smith, that second-year defensive tackle out of Michigan. 4th and 22, and they pushed Butker way back past the 45 now. He'll kick a 56-yard field goal, Harrison Butker, and his kick is up and is good. How about that Georgia-Alabama sim last night on the channel? The Georgia kicker made a 61-yarder at the end of half and then made a 58-yarder. So, 9:53 on this first half clock, 14-10 after the missed field goal of Harrison Butker, which means the Cowboys get good field position. Zeke puts his foot in the ground. The veteran picks up another 9 yards. Ezekiel Elliott. He's found the fountain of youth here in the first half. 2 receivers to the right side. Zeke hiding on the logo. Stretch it to the right side. There's nobody over there, and finally Cook gets all the way over to make a tackle. But Zeke got about 20 yards before even getting touched. It's like they forgot about that play or that side of the field. And interesting how well the Cowboys have been able to run against the Chiefs. Now here comes Zeke left side, and this time he's just going to kind of fall forward for 3. And yeah, we haven't seen our defense with all the starters in it either. They've been missing 5 guys, and they were suffocating to the Vikings. Tomlinson's supposed to be back this week. Newsom's supposed to be back this week. Hicks will be back this week. Denzel, I would assume, will clear the protocol sometime this week. So yeah, you're going to finally, and that's what they were even when Aditi Kingwalla was interviewing. Right side throw, touchdown, Jalen Tolbert. That streak down the seam. And a touchdown for the Cowboys. She interviewed Jim Schwartz at the end of the game or the end of the half, or whatever, and she was like, what do you need to work on, whatever, and he's like, we haven't even seen what our defense looks like yet. He's like, we're missing 5 starters, so we're not even really sure what our defense is going to look like yet. Like, he was kind of like very kind of flippant about it almost in the interview. So it sounds like both Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski in separate interviews said that they expect Wills and Conklin to be back this week. And again, the plan was always for Newsome and Tomlinson. Remember when they had their surgeries at the beginning of camp? The plan was always for them to be ready for week 1. Again, won't be surprised if Chubb starts on PUP. If he doesn't start on PUP, of course, that means they think he'll be back before week 5. So that's a nice thing to have, but that doesn't mean I expect to see him against Dallas in week number 1. Mahomes fired it, floated to the middle, tipped and then intercepted. Tipped into the hands of Marquise Bell, the linebacker. And Bell's got it to the 32. And now both quarterbacks have thrown an interception to linebackers. And look at this one, tipped away by Kendricks. It's perfect. Tip it right to your teammate, almost with a spiral right into the hands of Marquise Bell. And a beautiful play there. And a first down in enemy territory now for the Cowboys with a chance to extend their 3-point lead. Play action, Dak. Now he will run into Charles Omenihu, that left defensive end, coming around the right tackle's side. And that's the third sack of the day for the Kansas City Chiefs. I would assume so, especially the defense, because it doesn't really change. It hasn't really changed since last year. Another beautiful run from Zeke. He's playing incredible football. He's got 115 yards rushing, and we're halfway through the first half. Or, still halfway through the second quarter. Again, offense, they've been doing tons of walkthroughs. Even last night on the broadcast, if you were able to see the Cleveland broadcast, like I was, even into the third and fourth quarter, Aditi King of Law was talking about how Watson was on the sideline with Judy and Coop and Chief, and that they were running the plays. They were doing like mental reps together on the benches. As Zeke breaks through again, 10-5, touchdown, Ezekiel Elliott. It's like Herschel Walker out there today. He has been unstoppable for the Cowboys and into the end zone to advance their lead here. Just breaking tackles all over the place. Elliott, holy smokes. Touchdown number 2 for him with over 130 yards rushing in the first half. With still 6 minutes to go in the first half. This is nuts. (24-14) now with 6:02 on the second quarter clock. Mahomes trotting back out there with his Chiefs offensive teammates. Snap back to Mahomes. They're setting up screen to the right side. He will get it to Hilaire. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire with 2 blockers, and he sort of couldn't get out of the way, and now an injury to Micah Parsons. Oh boy, holding that left knee, and he is hobbling very gingerly to the locker room, and that will be the end of Micah Parsons' day, and that's going to be a huge blow for the Dallas Cowboys, losing an elite player. I mean, that's tantamount to the Browns losing a Myles Garrett, 49ers losing on Nick Bosa, Steelers losing a TJ Watt. That's one of the best players at his craft on the planet, and he is not going to be finishing this Super Bowl. Unfortunate for the Cowboy fans. As the disappearing, reappearing ball handoffs are getting more and more egregious. That one looked like it was a yard away from him. Just apparates into each other's arms. There's a nice run there for Hilaire. They've only run the ball 4 times. Maybe they feel like a little bit more balance will help out. But now trailing 10. Look at that, 4 rushes for 26 passes. There's not a lot of balance today for Andy Reid's attack. Now Mahomes play action quickly right side. Got Rice 40, 35, 30. Rashee Rice to the 25 and down at the 24. Trevon Diggs getting over there to make the tackle on Rashee Rice, who again you saw popped as a superstar in this season. Malik Hooker over there as well. Go Bucks. And those drag routes so deadly against the man coverage. And Mahomes easily completing that one now. First and 10 up to the 24-yard line. Creed Humphrey, highest paid center in the NFL. Snaps it back to Mahomes. He'll play the action. And now he'll wiggle to the right side. Pressure coming from the gentleman who has checked in to replace Micah Parsons. And I think it might be Dante Fowler. I think. Don't quote me on that one. We'll have to see when he gets, if I gets closer, if I can see his jersey. Incomplete, but a flag does fly. Are we going to get some PI? We are. Pass interference on the defense. And that's going to be Eric Kendricks, the middle linebacker. Again, he was trying to drop back, and now an injury to right guard Trey Smith. And he is all of a sudden out of the game there. Number 61 checking in. I think it might be Nick Allegretti, perhaps, off the top of my head. Left side throw, end zone, knocked away. Got a mitt in there. Rashee Rice was the intended target. Defender says, not today, Rashee. 3:21 on the second quarter clock. Now left side throw, end zone. They try to go to the exact same play. And Carson again, the rookie, says, nah, don't come this way. Oh my, what a play. Chris Carson, I believe the rookie, had a Wake Forest, I want to say. That's my guess on that one. 14-24. I clearly do not have the Cowboys roster in front of me. If you hadn't figured that out, Tony in the middle, how did he catch it? He somehow ripped it right away from the Cowboy defender, and Kadarius Toney has a really, really nice touchdown catch. And the Chiefs needed this one. Watch this play again, over the middle. Bell was right there, but Toney kind of uses his body to shield Marquise Bell from the football, and Kadarius Toney is into the end zone now. Kick pending, 24-21. And Butker's kick is up and good. 9 plays, 78 yards on that drive. And with 3:13 to go, the Cowboys are going to take over with a 3-point lead. Turpin takes a knee in the end zone here. Again, appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, Nagy on Sports. Kit joining from a hotel room in somewhere on the West Coast. Phil here in Central Ohio. Again, we are Nagy on Sports. The final game of Madden 24 here with our 2024 season sim. It was a heck of a ride for our Browns, but we ultimately fell short in the AFC Championship to these Kansas City Chiefs. And again, I mentioned earlier, if it makes you feel any better, 12 Browns made the Pro Bowl team in this virtual sim season. So again, we had some special seasons from some players, and I will run it to the end of it because there is a chance that Myles Garrett could win MVP, not just DPOY, that one, because of like the 45 sacks or whatever he had on the season. So we will go ahead and run that at the conclusion of this video. But then the next time you see NFL Sims from us, it will be using Madden 25, and it will be using our brand new streaming PC, again, courtesy of a incredibly generous donation from one of our long time subscribers. And we're very, very excited to be able to bring that to you. Also, I'll be dropping a video here in the next week or so where I'm going to be donating some of my old PlayStation games. So if you're a PlayStation 5 person and you want some free video games, stay tuned, and I'm going to be getting rid of some of those. And just as a thank you for all the things you guys are doing for us and keeping the channel growing. So it's the least I can do to pay for a little shipping to send something to your house. So we'll get to that also here in the next week or so. And now an injury to Swayze Bowman. And Bozeman just heads to the sideline. Or Idaho in this case. So Wendell, I will, if you remember the way that Madden does it, they automatically sub the starters out after the first quarter, and then after the second quarter, and then after the third quarter, if you remember. So Whit'll just run the starters. I can take Nick Chubb out if you want it to be more realistic. Technically, I could take Tomlinson and Newsome out if you want, but we'll probably just run the full roster as is for the preseason sims. And then as we get into the regular season, of course, we will try to make the rosters as accurate as possible. That's what we try to do. So yeah, if Nick Chubb's not going to play in week 1, we won't play Nick Chubb. If Greg Newsome's not going to play in week 1, we won't play Greg Newsome. Those kinds of things. Back to pass now, left side throw. Dig across the middle, Dolbert to the 5 and a first down. Still have 2 timeouts left and looking to punch it in once again are the Cowboys. Have come to life here in the second quarter. Caught it but fell to his knees on the 1. Also Jalen Tolbert. His 6th catch of the half, and now they'll call timeout number 2. Yeah, the new is Arthur Smith, right? The former Tennessee Titan offensive coordinator and then Atlanta Falcons head coach. They'll try to pitch it to the right side to Zeke, and he's going to go nowhere. That's the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh. So yeah, if you think about the Titans offense with Tannehill and Derrick Henry, and I'd be interested to see. Hey Jeff, welcome in. If that's a question for me, no, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but we have simulated the entirety of the 2024 season, and this is the matchup that rendered itself out after these simulations. Are you a Cowboys fan? 24-21 now. Dak with 10 seconds. Fires it left side. Caught for a touchdown, but there is a flag. Hold everything. It's in the backfield in the vicinity of holding. And the cameraman thinks that it's the right tackle, Terrence Steele, and it is going to be holding on the Cowboys. Awesome. Well, welcome in. Congratulations to your Cowboys making it to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure, again, why that's in their home stadium. It's supposed to be in the Superdome in New Orleans, but they did make the Super Bowl, and they got a 3-point lead here, if not more, heading into halftime. Dak running for his life. Now he'll just throw it away with 2 seconds left to allow Brandon Aubrey time to come onto the field for a chip shot 35-yarder for Brandon Aubrey, who has crazy leg power. I think he's a 99 kick power in the game because he has that kind of leg. All right, halftime here in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 59 halftime. Again, Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, Nagy on Sports joining you here today. 27-21. Halftime show is Backstreet Boys opening for Kiss. There you go. There's another look at Ezekiel Elliott's run. He was incredible in that first half. There's the touchdown to Tolbert as well. 27-21, and the Cowboys are going to get the ball back one more time here, are going to get the ball back to start the second half. Now here's Turpin from 1 yard deep. Cavante Turpin will try to spin past the 20, and he'll go down at the 21-yard line. Look at Zeke, 138 yards rushing in that first half with 2 touchdowns. That'll do. That will do for Ezekiel Elliott. Again, a throwback game for him in the Super Bowl here, Super Bowl 59. His first tight end catch of the day for Jake Ferguson. And the former Wisconsin Badger has a gain of about 9, sets up a 2nd and inches, and he's a little slow to get up again. Jeff, if you're just joining us, they were down 14-7, and then Micah Parsons actually got hurt, left the game. It looked like a knee injury. So they have been rolling without Micah Parsons since then, but Dak and Ezekiel Elliott primarily have been making some great plays for you. Yes, absolutely. That's, if you've been listening to any of our banter, it's usually Browns focused, Jeff. It's the majority of the fans of the channel are Browns fans. That's what we started with, but have since adopted pretty much every other team in some capacity. Here's a quick throw out of the backfield to Ezekiel. And Elliott's got himself another 5 yards of total offense. Quick throw out, just out of the outstretched arms of Jake Ferguson. And Ferguson cannot hold on. 3rd and 5 now. 12 personnel. Zeke alone in the backfield. Back to pass. They blitz, and it's picked up. Right side throw, and CeeDee Lamb can't hold on. Watson knocked it right out of his mitts, and CeeDee Lamb frustrated after that one. Could have and probably should have held on to that football in the first drive of the second half. Unsuccessful. It's nice to meet you too, man. Appreciate you being on. And again, like I said, you'll see the Cowboys real quick because we'll be simming the Browns season one game at a time. And week one is the Cowboys, of course. So, you know, usually a Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday, leading up to the actual game. Kit and I will bring you the sim of that game. Here's a quick little RPO left side to Rashee Rice, and it'll be thrown down by Carson. And Carson going to shoot the bow and arrow after that nice TFL. And yeah, this is what we do, Jeff. This is Nagy on Sports. We simulate sporting events, and we have live original commentary for them. Mostly football. We're also in the middle of a college football playoff right now, if you can see that on the channel. But we also do some baseball, a little bit of basketball. We did some soccer during the World Cup. We did some hockey. We always do the Stanley Cup playoffs, stuff like that. If the Blue Jackets are ever good again, I might do a Blue Jackets franchise sim. That's right, even from Coeur d'Alene. Yes, and we do appreciate that subscription, Jeff. Thanks so much for being on. Here's Mahomes now. Quick little throw, a little sidearm throw to Kelsey, first down. 35 pass attempts already for Mahomes. He is literally leaving it all on the field here today. They trail by 6. Their opening drive of the second half. He's under his center, Creed Humphrey, who just got paid. Incomplete that time. Donovan Wilson knifes it out of Travis Kelce's hands. 36 passes and 4 runs today for the Chiefs. We do have a couple of Chiefs fans. I wonder where Daniel and some of our other regular Chiefs fans are on the live stream here. Pressure coming, and that'll be sacked, and it's Sam Williams. And that's the one who's in for Micah Parsons. So Micah Parsons is backup, Sam Williams. I told you I thought it was maybe Dante Fowler, but I was wrong. It's Sam Williams, and Williams going to come up with a huge sack after beating Juwan Taylor. 3rd and 20 now. Sounds good. It'll be here whenever you want to watch the rest of it. Thanks again, buddy. We appreciate you being on. Right side throw. Nearing the first down is Tony, but it'll be thrown down just 4 yards short. Once again by Donovan Wilson. 4th and 4, and Andy Reid will elect to punt and play defense. This one will be out of bounds. Nope. Out of bounds. Out of the back of the end zone, rather. 9:44 on the third quarter clock. Dak Prescott and company back out onto the field. Cordeline. Okay. Double tight ends to the left side. Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. He'll run to the left, and they'll throw to the right. Nice throw to get some of that yardage back. Drew Tranquil makes the tackle. That's Brandon Cooks. Sets up a 3rd and 9. And Dak in trouble. Now he'll fire deep. Right side. Got him in! CeeDee Lamb! What a throw and catch! Toe drag, swag to the 41. A big shot play for their superstar receiver. Look at him just float that thing. I thought he was going to run out of real estate. Oh, man. Oh, I'm not sure if that left foot is down. Kansas City is not going to challenge. Interesting. I think for sure they should have challenged that. Gotcha. I'm with you. 8 minutes and 2 seconds here in the third quarter. Got a nice tight Super Bowl for you here on Nagy on Sports. Across the middle, CeeDee Lamb. Another first down catch for CeeDee. And they're at the 31-yard line. I thought it was OB too, and I'm really surprised that Andy Reid didn't challenge that. Unless that left toe was down when he caught it. Over the middle and decked. Drew Tranquil laid the hurt on Jalen Tolbert that time. Weak eye formation here. Hunter Luepke in front of Elliott. Now back to pass. Dak. Now he'll roll and dump it to Zeke on the left side. Hit and then dropped by, that's Curtis Jacobs, the rookie linebacker out of Penn State. Yep, Curtis Jacobs. There it was. Prescott, right side throw, angle route, burst down on that kind of flag to the corner, angling away the inverted post, whatever you want to call it, but Trent McDuffie couldn't hang with him, and Jalen Tolbert has got the Cowboys a 1st and goal to go, with a chance to extend their lead. And play action. Now Dak. Now he'll roll. Now he'll zip it out of bounds. Incomplete. Welcome in, David. Good to have you on. Always enters with a splash. Incomplete. Knocked away once again. That's Watson. 3rd and goal now for the Cowboys. Dak, shotgun snap, back to pass, over the middle, back of the end zone, got it to Tolbert. How do you let him get behind you in a goal-to-go situation? Jalen Tolbert, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And now all of a sudden the Cowboys have widened their lead to 2 scores. Oh boy, McDuffie just got beat. And a touchdown, they're going to go for 2. And extend this lead to a full 14 if possible. Dak, stretch it right side to Zeke. Ball disappears into his hands, and he's going to be tackled by Nick Bolton. And now another injury to Tyler Smith. And Smith's going to go to the locker room, so that's no good. Smith, they drafted him as a guard, and I believe has moved to left tackle with Tyron Smith heading to the New York Jets. 1st and 10 now. Mahomes, we know he's special, Earl. I'm not pressing the panic button yet. This is my calm face. Trips to the left side for Mahomes, but they're going to have to get something going here now. 33-21. Fired right side, dropped. Kadarius Toney had it in his mitts and then dropped it. That's right, a little bit. Yep, no lead is safe. That's true. Drag across the middle of Toney, 1st down. To the 36-yard line. Kadarius Toney. His 5th catch of the Super Bowl. 5:13 and counting. Kansas City. Mahomes over the middle again. Got it. Marquise Hollywood Brown to the 43-yard line. And they have eclipsed the 50-yard marker here, and are driving once again against the Cowboys. Look at him thread that between 2 defenders. Just a gorgeous throw from Patrick Mahomes. He is him, as the kids say. Fired again. Got it on another skinny post. Hollywood Brown to the 26 and another 1st down, Kansas City. And that was a dart once again. No replay, apparently, from the Madden staff here today. Pistol look here for Mahomes. Maybe back to pass again. Fired again with some heat, and it's almost picked off. Incomplete. It looked like Deron Bland had a chance to intercept it, but incomplete is the call. And now Mahomes back under center with 4:01 to go. Left side throw, Rice, touchdown! Rashee Rice, his 2nd touchdown of the day. He was wide open on that one, and Mahomes didn't miss. What a throw here. He's like, are you kidding me? How open is this guy? He got past both defenders who bit on the underneath route to Noah Gray. And touchdown for Rashee Rice. That's a very good question, Wendell. I don't believe so. I feel like they would have mentioned that with the amount of times that Kansas City is in these nationally televised games. You have to assume that that would have come up at some point. And yep, you're right, Earl. Just a one-score game now. It's a 5-point lead for the Cowboys, 33-28. Again, do appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, Nagy on Sports is the channel. Our final sim with Madden 24 before this game gets retired. And we'll be breaking into Madden 25 in a couple days here. We'll start to go through very quickly over the course of the next week or so. We'll get through all 3 of the Browns preseason games. And then we will lead into the regular season opener, not only for Ohio State, but for the Browns. Stretch it left side to Zeke. He's got another nice block. Juke move to the 40, past the 40. Ezekiel Elliott, 151 yards now and 2 touchdowns. He's obviously had a much more quiet third quarter. But again, 138 rushing yards in that first half alone. He was quite good. Stretch it again. Now he's got the corner. Nope, can't get it this time. Drew Tranquil got in there too quickly. Linebacker flying over there, Drew Tranquil. And Reed's a little feisty getting up here. Another strong eye formation there with Lupke. In front of Zeke, 3-step drop for Dak. Pressure in his face, fires it, and he tried to kind of lead CeeDee Lamb back to the open space. And Lamb did turn around and sort of, I smell what you're laying down kind of a deal, but and not well timed to be able to complete the pass. Dak, now pressure in his face, he'll spin and fire. But got CeeDee on the sideline for another first down. That's 300 yards now for Prescott on his 41st pass attempt, and CeeDee Lamb is over the 100-yard mark as well. He is extremely good, isn't he, CeeDee Lamb? Strong eye again, 3-step drop. Now Prescott steps up 40, 35 to the 30, and he'll slide down at the 30. Give him 9 on that scramble. Yeah, Earl, I'm with you. I think wins is the most important stat, as well as it's over the top to CeeDee Lamb. First and goal, Cowboys, as this Super Bowl is going back and forth with 2 incredibly talented offenses. 8 catches, 129 yards now for CeeDee Lamb. Give it back to Lupke up the middle. Hunter to the 2, to the 1, and Lupke gets no further than that, and that's probably where the third quarter comes to a close. Just 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Oh, they do snap it now. Zeke to the end zone. A hat trick for Ezekiel Elliott. He's got 3 touchdowns. Feed me. He does the feed me Zeke celebration. 3 touchdowns. I would say keep feeding him, over 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. Oh boy, Ezekiel Elliott having a monster Super Bowl here. And I would say that Deshaun would say that. I would say Deshaun doesn't care how many yards he gets. Deshaun would trade all of his touchdowns and yards for wins at this point in his career. Frankly, I think a lot of our team is like that. Last night on the sideline, Myles Garrett interview with Aditi Kinkawala, and she said, "What's next for you?" Brought home Defensive Player of the Year. Brought it home to Cleveland last year. What? How can you top that? And he said, "Bringing us our first ever Super Bowl." So I think the dudes would trade all of the stats for the wins and the hardware, which is a cool kind of a team to have. Let's just be honest. Not everybody's like that. Kelsey to the right side. And frankly, I think the Chiefs are like that. Kelsey and Holmes. I think winning is what's most important to those guys, and the stats are secondary. Back to pass. Fired in, almost picked off. Ooh, should have been picked off. Marquise Bell almost had his second interception of the day. I mean, maybe. Narrative schmarative. If you're winning a Super Bowl, I don't care what the narrative is. The narrative is we won the freaking Super Bowl. However it got done. Right side throw to Kelsey. And Kelsey seems like a guy who cares more about winning than his personal stats. Here's Edwards-Helaire, a big gainer to left side, gets up 12 to 13 yards. He has 5 carries in the game. They have not run the ball a lot, and with 13 minutes in the fourth quarter, down 12, I'm not sure how much more running of the football they can afford. But he has been effective in his limited touches out of the backfield now. Mahomes trips to the right side, back to pass. Zip it, got a man, Brown to the 10, juke move, and tackled at the 8-yard line. Hollywood Brown to the 8. And Hollywood Brown plus Rice plus Xavier Worthy again. The game has Kadarius Toney too highly rated and doesn't know about Xavier Worthy breaking the 4.22 or whatever the heck he ran at the combine. So the game doesn't know, but they're going to continue to be a problem. There's Kadarius Toney right on cue. Again, 6 for 74 in that role that Xavier Worthy would likely be in. Now Mahomes, a 2nd and goal here. They really need a touchdown. Left side throw, got it to Brown. Stuck it in there for a touchdown. And the Chiefs answer right back. And do a weird bunny hop dance. They're going to go for the extra point to keep this thing at 5. I guess the difference between 4 and 5 doesn't hurt you much now. But I guess now a 6-point touchdown without an extra point still wins you a contest, potentially. But they got to get a stop. They haven't been able to stop the Cowboys. They haven't been able to stop that guy right there, Ezekiel Elliott, 157 total yards. You can see just 3 of those are through the air, 154 on the ground with 3 touchdowns for the Ohio State Buckeye. Pulling Zach Martin in front of him. Zeke bullying his way, knocking men to the ground. Another gain of 7. Oof, their total defense, season ranked #1. Steve Spagnuolo's defense giving up over 4 bills here today. Still a quarter to go. CeeDee Lamb in the zone as well. Turn around, give it again to Zeke. Tried to get skinny through the hole, but ran into Charles Omenihu. And now a 3rd and 2 for the Cowboys. Yes, you're right, but Xavier Worthy was actually like a good receiver in college, too. Anthony Schwartz was not even particularly great in college. He had a couple of splash plays like on end arounds and stuff, but Xavier Worthy was actually like a legitimate first-round pick receiver. He just also happens to have that elite speed as well. So, no, he's going to be a problem for them. He was a great receiver at Texas. Not quite the same as Anthony Schwartz. It wasn't his only tool, we'll just say that. Back to pass now on a 2nd and 6. Got it right side, incomplete. Cooks was there. Watson was close by. But it looked like just a little bit too much pepper on that one from Prescott. 3rd and 6. Under 9 to play in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, Nagy on Sports joining it. They'll set up screen to the right side. Zeke's got it with some blockers. First down for Elliott to the 42. Now they'll say the 37-yard line. And a first down for Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys as they continue to try to put this one out of reach. And hoist their first trophy since what? I don't know, 95, 96? When was the last Troy Aikman Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin team to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if Jeff's still on anymore, but Jeff, when was the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl? I'm going to say 97? I don't know. Prescott stepping up and throws it out of bounds. Incomplete. Clock stops. They still lead by 5. 7:39 on that clock. Prescott again. Blitz coming. They'll feel it. Fire. Pew! Should have been picked by Brian Cook. He drops it, and now this 5-point lead is going to become 8. And it's because Brian Cook dropped the interception. Again, he is the player that they drafted and really liked, which is why Juan Thornhill did not resign and why we have him. But, oh boy, you know that he absolutely wants to have that one back. That would have been a huge, huge interception for the Chiefs defense. Instead, Aubrey pumps it through the uprights. And they have an 8-point lead now with 7:30 to go. Mahomes back out on the field. He's going to have to go 83 yards to do it. And he's got 7.5 to get her done. Again, appreciate everybody being on. Thanks so much to all of our subscribers. If you just subscribed today, we'd really appreciate that, like Jeff did. If you've been with us for a long time, we obviously really appreciate that as well. Also, make sure you hit that thumbs up button to continue to grow our NFL audience for people that might like to see what their teams look like before the games, all again with live original commentary, so you're not stuck with the canned broadcasting teams. Although the new game does at least have 3 teams, which makes it slightly more fun. It's fun to hear Mike Tirico on the call, I will say that. 3rd and 7. As I have already started my own personal Madden franchise with the Browns, of course, had to make some tough decisions. And you know what? There are going to be some tough decisions. It's Rashee Rice at the 46, especially if you keep the salary cap on. You have some really tough decisions because you are in a position where you got to extend Newsome and Chubb and Cooper, and there's not cap space to do it. And so you have to be really, really. Teller is going to need to, like, this is a pretty important year for the Browns because they're a good chunk of their team that's been around for a while may not be around next year. Guys like Chubb, Cooper, Teller, Antonio, Zadarius Smith, Newsome, Ward, depending on what happens with his health. I can't imagine he takes many more concussions before thinking about hanging it up. Yeah, we're going to get a flag on the play. Somebody moved early from Kansas City. It's pretty funny, too. Caught with littering. Are we okay with Jed Wills yet? What do you mean, okay with Jed Wills, Earl? Like, are we resigned to the fact that he's going to be on the team and he's going to play some left tackle for us? Here's Rashee Rice for a nice first down on the 1st and 15. Or are we just going to look the other way? Are we going to just look the other, be like, yeah, we could have had Wirfs. We could have had... who was the other one we could have had? Andrew Thomas was taken before us, and I think Becton was taken. I guess we could have had Mekhi Becton as well, right? He was the other one we could have had in that draft. Here's Hollywood Brown to the 3 to the 2. Another 500 yards passing for Mahomes, and with 3:30, they're in a goal-to-go situation. And Wendell, they may have to. They may have to. I think for me, I need some combination, although it's a very expensive combination, of Jed Wills and Jack Conklin to play left tackle all year. One of the two of them needs to play left tackle, and the two of them combined need to get through the whole year. That's what I need from Jed Wills. So whether that's he plays all the games and Jack's just the backup, or he plays half and Jack plays half, or whatever. But I think he's a very competent NFL left tackle. Is he elite? No. Is he terrible? No. He's like a good B- left tackle who you can win football games with. Fired over the middle, and they do get the 2, and here we go. We are all tied up. 43-43 as they were able to punch it in and then go for 2. And now with 3:06 to go, we have a tied Super Bowl here in Dallas, which is supposed to be New Orleans. And Kansas City has some of the momentum here. David, that is a pretty funny one. Honoring the existence of dog. Right side throw, and it's dropped by Cooks. Maybe just a little bit behind him and more momentum, which means now Mahomes is immune to pressure. Here comes Zeke. He's been good all day, but he can't get through the line now. So it's 3rd and 10. Is Dallas just playing for overtime here? What are you doing? Trips to the left side. They play action it. They rush 4. Left side throw, and it's almost picked. Williams almost intercepted it, and a 3 and out after the game tying touchdown. And all of a sudden, it has been, David. All of a sudden, with some momentum, in 2 minutes, you're going to give Pat Mahomes a chance to go win the Super Bowl. And all they really need is a Harrison Butker kick. So realistically, they're about 20 yards away because Butker doesn't need much to be able to boot that thing. He has kicked 60-plus yarders in our sims before. Now again, for me, this is always, do you want to, like, would you feel better? Again, if this was real and the Browns had lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, would you feel better if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl? Because then you at least were like, well, we lost to the Super Bowl champs. We were the second best team. Or does it hurt more because they beat you and then they beat the other two? Incomplete again, 3rd and 10. Really, really big 3rd down coming up here. 156. Mahomes trips to the right side. He'll say something to Kelsey, who is closest to him in the slot. Snap back. They'll rush 4. He's got good time. He'll fire right side. Sideline. Got it. No, out of bounds. Rashee Rice caught it, but couldn't get both feet in bounds. And it's incomplete in a 4th and 10, and the Chiefs will have to punt. Oh, my. Now you give the Cowboys and Brandon Aubrey a chance, and we know that Brandon Aubrey doesn't need much. He can boot it for more than 60 as well. Whew, here we go. 1:47 on this clock. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy on Sports. It's been a very exciting Super Bowl. And now Dak rolls, fires, hits Prescott. Left side, ball gets knocked out. Woo. That was a shot from Trent McDuffie. You too, David. Take care, buddy. Thanks for some laughs as usual. Have a great night. Back to pass, quickly over the middle. Got his tight end, Ferguson, but it's a short gain now. 3rd and 3. Kansas City not calling a timeout here. It sort of feels like both teams are content to get to overtime, doesn't it? Now Prescott, right side throw. Got it to CeeDee Lamb, but it's not a very long game. They do get the 1st down. His 33rd completion. 10 of them going to CeeDee Lamb. And now a 1st down at the 36 here. Kansas City hoping their defense can hold up. Prescott, right side, got it to CeeDee again, but it's short. They are still not quite in Aubrey's range. Again, they say the 43, so that would be a 60-yarder. They say that he can kick it from 60. And they are on the 43, but on the wrong 43 right now. So they need 14 yards to get to the other 43. It's a 2nd and 3 now. They have 2 timeouts left. They're going to want to save one of them to run Aubrey on. Prescott Left side throw, got it to CD, and he does enough room. And they do call timeout, and now to the 40, and it looks like they're going to run it to set it up. Prescott, left side, Zeke, big run again for 4. And Kansas City couldn't afford to let that play happen, and now you're going to put it all on Brandon Aubrey. Your All-American kicker that, showed up from the Canadian League or the XFL or something, and he just beats the junk out of the ball, and it looks like it's going to be 47. To win the Super Bowl, friends, Brandon Aubrey coming into the game. They call timeout. Actually, Kansas City calls timeout to ice him. 43-43. Brandon Aubrey into the game. He needs to kick a 47-yarder to win the Super Bowl. Snap is back. Trey Lance holds it. Kick is up from Aubrey. Kick is good! And the Cowboys win the Super Bowl in walk-off fashion. Brandon Aubrey drills it through the uprights, and there's 1 second left apparently. Then he'll have to kick it off one more time and make the guy return it. So this game is over unless Tony runs it back, and it's over. Brandon Aubrey wins the Super Bowl for the Cowboys. 46-43, a walk-off 47-yard touchdown, a field goal. And the Cowboys are your Super Bowl 59 champions. What a weird camera angle that was, staring at a sideline. It was an instant classic, and here comes the Super Bowl-shaped confetti. Zeke Elliott, I feel like he's got to be the MVP, right? He had an incredible game. Prescott and Mahomes embrace. And if this actually happens, because remember Prescott is kind of taking another gamble on himself here, he could get the $60 million a year that he wants if he wins the Super Bowl. I'm not sure if it's going to happen in Dallas or not. Here it is, Dak Prescott hoisting the Lombardi Trophy high into the sky. Your Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl 59 champions. What a game. What a game. Zeke Elliott, he's going to be our MVP. He's going to be the Nagy on Sports MVP because he was tremendous, and they do not win this game without Zeke Elliott's 3 touchdowns and 150-plus yards of offense in this one. What a great game. Seeing some of the great plays. Here, let's get some stats, and then we will go ahead again and run the exit slide at the end of our season and wrap it up one final time. 36 for 59 for 508, 5 touchdowns today for Mahomes. It just wasn't quite enough. 6 for 42, the 1-yard touchdown run, or 2-yard touchdown run from Noah Gray, lined up as a tight end. 10 for 184 for Hollywood. 8 for 115 and a touchdown for Kelsey. 7 for 108, 2 touchdowns. Tony, 7 for 80. So there's your top 4 receiving targets. And they all had monster days. 18 tackles for Trinkle, 16 for Bolt, 14 for Reed, and 11 for McDuffie. Sacks for Amenahu, Dana, Karloftis, and Chris Jones shared one. Shamari Connor had the only interception. For the Cowboys, 35 of 56, 397, just 2 touchdowns for Dak, and the 1 interception again. Their meat and potatoes was this man, Ezekiel Elliott, 28 carries, 173 yards. That's 6.1 a pop and 3 touchdowns. He had 70 yards after contact in this game. He was incredible. 12 for 162 for CeeDee Lamb, 8 for 90 in the 2 touchdowns for Jalen Tolbert, 6 for Ferguson, 5 for Cooks, 4 for Zeke. 10 tackles for Deron Bland, 8 for Kendricks, 8 for Donovan Wilson, 1.5 sacks for Lawrence. Sam Williams got 1. Parsons got 1 before his injury. Mozzie Smith shared the half. Marquise Bell had the only interception of the game. Your Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl 59 champions. And again, if you want to hang out with us for 1 second, I will advance the week and we will go see who the MVP and all of those things were of this sim season. But what a finish this one was. Dallas wins the Super Bowl, and no surprise, Mike McCarthy's contract is extended, as you would expect it to be. We'll get back here to the Brownies and a few yearly awards. Here we go. So, Myles Garrett, your MVP. We told you we might do it. Hey, Jeff, it's been our pleasure. Glad you're able to be on. Myles Garrett wins the MVP due to his, 45 sacks. Watson comes in second. He led the league in passing touchdowns and yards. Mahomes was third, then Tua, Brock Purdy. Rounding out the top five, looks like Darius Smith was on that list as well. Number 8. Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur. They were 16-1, I think, were the Packers, although they did not get out of the NFC. Your AFC awards, Watson, Offensive Player of the Year. He beats out his teammate Jerry Jeudy, and Nick Chubb comes in 5th. So that's how dominant our offense was. Defensive Player of the Year, oh, no big deal. Your first, second, third, and 6th players on this list are all Browns. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, and the rookie Mike Hall Jr. Incredible season for him. Brian Thomas, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Bo Nix and Roman Wilson, Lab McConkey, and Drake May. Defensive Player of the Year, of course, it's got to be Michael Hall Jr. If he's up for Defensive Player of the Year, he's definitely going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Junior Colson, Kalen Bullock, Chris Jenkins, and Nate Wiggins are the top 5 on that list. Best QB was Pat Mahomes, over Tua, over Deshaun, over Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. But there's the AFC North right there, in case you wanted to know if it was hard to be in the AFC North. The answer is yes. Yes, it is. Best running back, Nick Chubb. Welcome back, Nick Chubb. He probably also wins Comeback Player of the Year in the NFL if that holds up. Tyreek wins Best Receiver. Jerry Jeudy had a great season for the Browns. There's Chase and Higgins right there. I just don't think they could pay them both. Best Offensive Lineman is going to be Trey Smith, Joe Tooney, then Wyatt Teller, Joel Bitonio on that list as well. Best D lineman, no surprise, the starters, 3/4 of the starters for the Browns right there, and there's Tomlinson again at number 6. Best linebacker, Khalil Mack, Highsmith, Watt. Denzel Ward, the best defensive back, makes sense. He played incredibly well. And Butker, the best kicker. Hopkins, you can see they're coming in 4th. So, that is going to do it for us, guys. This was the final sim using Madden 24, and it's been a long and bittersweet journey, and we wish it well, but we hope that Madden 25 continues to provide better sims. That's the way that the playoffs went. Browns won big, 41-18, then they won 28-3, and then they got blown out 52-21. That's where their journey ends. But the Dallas Cowboys, the number 2 seed in the NFC, beat the Rams, killed the 49ers, and then actually killed the Saints for the most part too. And that is how the cookie crumbled this time. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey. Again, this will be the last sim using Madden 24 before we upgrade to the new game and the new simming rig and system. So it's been a lot of fun. We really appreciate it. For Kit out on the left coast, it's technically hanging out in Idaho tonight. I'm Phil here in Central Ohio. We are Nagy on Sports, guys. We do really appreciate it. Thanks so much to all of our subscribers. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your weekend. Football is back, my friends. We had some real college this weekend, and we're going to get all the real college going this weekend, and then pro just 2 short weeks from today. So today we will say, go Cowboys, the Super Bowl champions. And as always, go Browns.